I got it made, you never delay. You came and you paid, survey the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. I got it made for real. It's been like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. It's thick with annoying, what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I won't interfere. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange the chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it
Lord,
up.
I ain't too grand for the with. This girl talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper end, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, from Father to Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Why won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me here on the F.L.Y Show. I see many of you have already tuned in, so welcome to everyone that is new, everyone that is returning. It brings my heart so much joy to see each and every one of you right here with me every single week. And you all know it gets better every level that we go, and this week is no different. But before we get into that, again, my name is Jasmine D. Milhouse, and I am the host of the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And if you are tuning in with me again, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Make sure you like, tag, and share. Subscribe to the channel that you're looking at right now so you can see as we go live every single week, because what we do here on the F.L.Y Show, we interview industry leaders in multiple professions just to get an idea about their journey, what got them to where they are, what was it like going through their journey, and just giving advice to other people that are embarking upon entrepreneurship, going into business, going into school, going back to school, anything that you're looking to do that can enhance your life. You are right here. You are in the right place at the right time. And tonight, it is no different, because this is my very first mother-daughter duo. So if you've been following me, if you've been paying any attention, if you've been looking at any of our feed, because she's been sharing it as well, you all know that I have none other than the dynamic duo, the host of the Sweet and Spicy podcast, mother-daughter duo, Dr. Sparkle Osborne and her beautiful daughter Alaysha. And I'm so excited to get them on here. But before I pull them in, again, make sure you like, tag, and share. Let me know where you're watching from. Good evening, Miss Lakeisha, all the way from Miss Memphis. Thank you so much for the comments. Again, make sure you share. So, just a brief overview of my guest for this evening. Dr. Okay, put some respect on that. Dr. Sparkle Osborne. If you all notice or pay attention or have ever heard, or if you follow the Empowered Mornings, she is part one of the Fab Five from the Empowered Mornings. She is also she works in HR, because I did have her on the show one time before. So you know she also has She has another show with P. Angela Jones, talking about self-love. And also her and her daughter, they have their own show on the We Empower Nation and We Empower Network. Again, the Sweet and Spicy podcast. They hail from the great state of Tennessee. And I think that's enough for me bragging and boasting and trying to get their bio right and hoping I don't get it wrong. But without further ado, it is my pleasure and my honor to present to you Dr. Sparkle and Miss Alaysha.
Yes, we are so excited.
Hey.
Yes, baby.
So how are you ladies doing?
We are doing great.
Good. How y'all doing?
We are awesome.
Good.
Thank you so much for having us on your show. This is our first duo together. So come on, give it up for Jasmine, had the one and only the put the sparkles in. Yes, so thank you so much for having us.
Yes. It is my listen, when I tell you I have been wanting to do a mother-daughter duo for like 2 years now, and I was like, ooh, when y'all started the Sweet and Spicy podcast, I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. You know, our mothers spending a lot of time with cultivating their daughters, you know, and becoming their own type of woman, and listening to this spicy over here. Listen, ma'am, I can't wait to dig in your brain a little bit, because when I tell you, for you to be so young, I look at you like, because my daughter, she's about to be 21, right?
Okay.
And I listen to you talk to sometime, and I listen to her, you know, talking. I'm like, where are these grown little girls coming from? But then I follow the tree, and I'm like, I got Dr. Sparkle over here. That's where that tree comes from. That's where that root comes from. So I see the time and the love and the nurturing that you have put and placed inside of Alaysha. And when I tell you, ma'am, Dr. Sparkle, I take a bow, a curtsy, I toss my hat, whatever it is, to give you your accolades and just to show you some love and give you your flowers while you're here to smell and hear and receive them. Job well done, mom.
Well,
Job
thank
well
you,
done.
thank you. Don't get it twisted, honey. She's still a 23-year-old. Don't get it twisted. I have had to smack. I have knocked them teeth out plenty of times. We just had to replace them. You know.
Listen.
I had to snatch up. You know, so I came from that you better spoil the rod. You know, you better pull out that rod.
Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Look, we didn't do time out. Time out, girl. I'm gonna beat your. Make me.
I'm gonna time out the DDT you in this court. No, just
back. Bring it back. Because let me tell you,
look, Alaysha, we gonna bring it back.
Thank you. Because you know she will go way. What grandma be say? Way yonder. Come on back. Now. Come on back. Come on yonder. And I had a nice village. Like I have my grandmother. Like my hats goes off to my grandmothers, because my village, like people, like my hats go off to people. Like I don't want nobody to help me. Look, come help me. Help. Tap you in, like tap who picking her up from school? Who I had a look, you know them schedule. Monday, grandmama 1, Tuesday, grandmama 3.
Help me.
It's the real. I mean,
listen, because that and it's, you know, and it's still like that for me to today, because this weekend these grandmama was like, hey, you know, school started and we want to spend time with them. Come get them. I'll bring them to your house if you want me to. What time you need? Don't even worry about it. You ain't even got to waste your gas, honey. I'm on the way.
I'm going to bring them to you.
I'm going to bring them to you.
Look, the night before, We packing bags. We packing bags. Yes. So I remember
we cleaning up and everything. Listen,
clean up. Our favorite game.
but
Our favorite game was the Barton. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Everybody
clean up,
clean up.
everybody, everywhere. Clean up, clean. I still let me. Okay, so I have a 13-year age gap between my middle son and my baby child. Okay, don't judge me. All right, the Lord had jokes. All right. So, but he here now. You know, he here. And I look, that's my child, and I'm gonna stick beside him. Okay, I'm gonna stick beside him. But but I mean, that is still something that I do to this day, even though kids these days, these new age, these COVID babies are a whole different breed from the children you and I raised back then. These kids right here, they come out talking, they come out walking, so getting to segueing into that, what was the dynamics like? I know you had your village, but you being her mom, what were the dynamics like for you and Alaysha as you both were growing up?
We have always, when she was younger, we've always been close. Like she slept with me way past a child supposed to sleep with you. So, and I had her young, so we stayed with my grandmother for a little while, and staying at my grandmother's house. It was only one bed, so she slept with me at my grandmother's house, and we lived off crates, and we made it work. So then I bought a house, and then when I bought a house, it was still just her and I was very protective. Like, she couldn't hang out with certain cousins, and we didn't go a lot of places because we didn't have a lot of money. So we made fun times was at home playing games, building stuff. Like, we didn't eat out and do all that. We was on a budget. We lived strictly on the budget. So on Saturday, we would clean up and we would go outside and play. And, she's an only child. So it's always been her and I. So that, I think that's where the connection came. Was because we had to spend, like, we had no other choice but to spend so much time together, because it was like we was on a routine. Like we was a routine house to the T. Like, you do hair on Sunday. You do hair on Sunday. We marinated meat, like organized, the refrigerator organized, clothes organized. Like, Sunday was get everything done, because through the week we is pick up, homework, bathe.
Right. It's fast paced during the week. Yeah.
And that's how we lived life. And her younger life, kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten. I don't know where this child came from. When I say, Lord Jesus, we was at the altar. Like, Lord, help me, Lord. Why is she so mean? She had a mean streak in her. Like, she was just mean for no reason. Kindergarten, she jaking stuff out of their hands, like bucking up to it. And let's not add, she goes to private school. Okay, she's the only black. So we look like the
problem kid. Yes.
The problem kid. But you cannot tell me prayer doesn't change things, because the trouble that she gave me at pre-K and kindergarten, high school, middle school, nothing. Like, thank you, God. Nothing. Now she did used to steal my car, but
We ain't gonna talk about that.
No,
she
We
did used to
finna
steal
put
my car.
your
Like, and
business in the street, Alaysha.
But yes, no, touching on that, I could say like childhood, we were really close knit because that's all that we had was each other. But then I can say
Right,
then
right.
once around probably about second grade is
mm-hmm,
when you got married, right?
mm-hmm.
So then that's when she decided she married a pastor. So we became the first
Okay,
family of a Baptist church. And I can say
okay.
that's probably when our relationship took a toll. Could we agree to that? Probably
It was probably more like when he came, we was good like the first few
yeah,
years.
because everything was
Mhm.
good the
And
first.
then she
Right.
realized he wasn't going nowhere. That's when she was like,
Yeah.
and this man runs rules. Like, he's very strict. Like, she
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
you just let that man run out over you. You let this man do whatever. Like, we can't
Right.
do anything without you having to
Mhm,
ask that man. So that's
mhm.
when the shift came. Like, you went from just us to who is this man? And then this man
Right,
has kids. So then
right.
these kids are coming, and it's been just you and I all
Mhm,
my life.
mhm.
So that's a major adjustment
Right.
for her. Now, he took good care of her. He loved her like his, but it was still a toll to her because now this man is laying down rules at the house. We can't do this and we can't do this, or every time you ask mama, can we something, you got to go ask him.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's when probably about sixth grade, seventh grade, she was like, I
I'm
don't
out.
even know who you are. I don't even like you. I don't,
Sixth
I don't-
grade.
about sixth grade.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree because when you're the first family, that's when you feel like all eyes are on you, and that's when you're about
Right.
12. You're a preteen, so you trying to live like a preteen.
Mhm.
You wanna go to the
Right.
movies with your friends on a Friday night, and going on the
Mhm.
movies with your friends on a Friday night, y'all are laughing and kikiing and being obnoxious like a
Mhm.
typical preteen. Well, then you
Right.
have church people taking pictures of you, calling your mom and saying, I saw your daughter at the movies and at the mall. And I'm like, why? I just want to be a preteen. Like, that's it. So I can say, like,
Right.
I realized all eyes were really on you. Like, as soon as you step out the
Mhm.
house, all eyes are on you. People are watching you. People are waiting on your downfall. They're waiting on you to
Right.
make a weak, like, look at your weaknesses, waiting on you to make a bad choice so they can like talk
Mhm.
about you. They can go run and say, y'all thought Sparkle's daughter, well, not Sparkle back then, but
Mm-hmm.
you thought Tanika was different, huh? You thought Tanika's daughter was so good and she was such an angel, but look at her now, just being hot. And all y'all doing is at the movies,
We're
at the
going to the
mall. Like,
movies, at the
And
mall,
all she
doing
was
what
doing was
a
going
typical
to the
teenager
movie.
does, having fun with their friends, being a teenager,
Yeah.
understanding, being given a little privilege of experiencing the real world without your parent being around. At that
yes.
age, that's what you're doing. I'm still in the mall, but I'm gonna let you walk off with your friends. I may
Yeah.
be in the parking lot or in this food court, but while you're at the movie, but I'm still here. I'm giving you authority to experience life, a little freedom. That's what I'm
Yeah.
giving you to, because it, like you said earlier, with you being that much, when you're used to being protective, sometimes it's kind of hard when they hit that preteen stage and they want to start hanging out with their friends, and they don't want to just be mama, let's hang out or let's do movie night, and they want to go,
Mm-hmm.
want to be around you so much. So it is an adjustment as a parent, but it's also an adjustment as a child as well. But their adjustment is, I see my friends and I want to go with my friends. But as a parent, we're like, that's my baby and they're growing up and they don't want to spend time with me no more. So, but then you add onto what you just said, Alaysha, with being the first family, and it's like now That's Barack Obama, you Michelle, and you know, not everybody, paparazzi everywhere. Like I can't do nothing. I can't wear a hole in my. I can't wear ripped jeans because I'm going to hell. You know, like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
It was real. It's real. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I know she's at the mall. Like I know where she's at. I know. Like, well, they're running around the mall. Well, she's 11. Of course they're running around the mall. Like she's not stealing.
Right.
She has money in her pocket. So she's not doing anything crazy. And we're at dinner across the street. So we're not like,
Right.
because we didn't play that game. We like, you might could go to the movies, but you know I'm probably like 7 minutes away. I can get there in 3 if I need to.
If I need to, exactly.
If I need to. Because it wasn't a bunch of spending the night with people and no. we just didn't do that. And he wasn't having that. Like he was worse than me. But I, you know, his thing was she's his little girl. Like, no, not the little girl. But it was just the change of, and I didn't see it at first. I thought it was like, girl, you should be happy. Girl, we got money now. Like we got some cushion there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we ain't living cracker to cracker. Like, girl, enjoy this moment.
Right.
So I was trying to embrace the newness, and she was like, I just want normal.
Yeah.
It was so where I didn't see it and she was crying out for normal. I'm like, what's wrong? So how she used to talk to me all the time, or she would want to ride with me just because, she wasn't wanting to do it no more because she felt probably portrayed.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah. Right. Because her sense, what you said, her sense of normalcy is now in her mind feeling chaotic because she can't be, it's no longer Alaysha and mommy no more. It's Alaysha and all these other jokers in here that I gotta share my mommy with. And it was me for a real long time. And I no longer have that. And sometimes kids cry out in totally different ways. I can remember an incident with my son. He started trying to fight the teachers in school. You know, his dad and I split. Like he threw a chair at a teacher. He tried to fight a teacher. So I'm having to get called off my job weekly to go to the school because of incidents. You know, so that anything, any type of change can you know, throw them off. But as time moved forward for you all, how did you all start to rebuild that bond between you?
Well, honestly, it was like, I promise you, we've been through it all together. Like we have made every adjustment in this world together. Because then once I went through my divorce, that's what I was she wanted him. Like she didn't said forget me. She wanted him. She wanted her dad. Like that was like, it's your fault. It's your fault that he's not here no more. Like it took a turn. Like it went from, she felt like I had abandoned her, and then when we got a divorce, she felt like I took her dad from her. Like now here comes this. Now I don't want you. I want to be with you. She wasn't gonna go move with him or nothing, but she felt like
right.
Why are you tearing my family up? Now we have family. Now we have the sense of family. Like, what are my friends gonna think? What is people gonna think? Like, y'all have been the couple, and because we didn't show problems out in the world, the world thought like, oh, they the best family ever. They're great. They're great. So nobody knew what was going on at home. So people was like, y'all getting a divorce? Like, y'all the best couple ever. Y'all run the church. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. Y'all living the life. What do you mean? And so we went through that transition. And then in high school, like mid-high school, it just clicked. And then she was just like, we started bonding back together. We started building back together. We started just spending time together. I started listening. I started making intentionally to listen to what she had to say. I was like, how do you feel about this? Do you want to move here? I started letting her in the choices of where we was going to go, what we was going to do, what we going to eat, where we going to go. Like, what's our goal? What's our strategy? How we going to get there? So I started doing it like, this is a duo. Like, me and you, like, we would have to say, all we have is each other. And to reach the goals, we have to do this and we have to do that. So the strategy of just learning that I had to listen to her, and we would have meetings pretty much. Like, so what do you think?
Right. Yeah.
Then she was like, what do you think? And I think that's where it came from. I started letting her be heard.
Yeah. And I can say from my point of view, I would say going back a little bit, at first, after the divorce, whenever the divorce was fresh, I can say that I was upset. You know, I was praying out to God, like, I just want my family back. Because, you know, once a child gets used to something, used to consistency, that's all that they want. But then I can say after a year or two, my mother did start to reach a form of kind of depression. Where she was just in the house and she was not sparkling. There was no such thing as sparkling. She wore nothing but bland colors. All she wore was jogging suits. She wore black and brown. She didn't go out the house. She did not do anything happy. I never saw her smile. I started to get scared that I was going to lose my mother, if I'm really being honest. Wow. So I can say that's when I really was like, okay, Alaysha, you need to remove yourself and remember who was always there for you since you was here in this life, since you opened your eyes. Do you really want to lose her because you're so full of yourself and you're so focused on you and your attitude and, you know, your teenage years, everything's important. Oh, it's me. I just want to be with my friends. I don't care about nobody else. I just want to hang out with these little boys. And then I really like took a reflection back, and that's when I really like started being so overprotective. Like, if y'all see us, y'all know that like I'm so overprotective over this woman. I don't care. I know she's a lie. I know she's a handful. I know she don't shut up. I know this. But if you look her the wrong way, if you say the wrong thing, like I'm so overprotective, and that is such a major reason because I know the type of where she is now and who she is now, looking back then, like this is absolutely a miracle. So that's probably like really the transition in our life and in our relationship is just seeing that every day and seeing that depression in front of your eyes every single day as a little girl. You can't forget that, you know?
Right.
And I really didn't. I didn't know she was gonna go there. So I mean, but it's fine. It's fine. Like I'm not ashamed of it at all. But I like when I say I went through a major depression, like she started back sleeping with me because I cried constantly. Like all I did was cry. I know for about a month, every single day, cry. And like I had lost my job, like my depression, I lost my job, I lost everything, like a sense of wanting to be alive. But I knew I couldn't in life because who's gonna take care of my baby? Like what's gonna happen to her? So I knew I still had to get up and take her to school. I knew I had to cook, but she started cooking with me. Like, I'm telling you, my daughter saved my life. Like, literally saved my life because she did everything for a moment. She washed
You
clothes.
better not. You better not. You better
Mhm.
not.
She washed the clothes. She did lunch. I mean, she cooked dinner. Like, she stood up
Whew.
and like took care of me because I didn't want nobody to know how bad the depression was. So we was in this house, like literally closed up in a house. And my daughter had to like say, Mama, get up. You gotta take a shower. Mama, let me help you. Let me do this. She stopped her life, her teenage life for a moment, just to make sure that I was okay. Like literally to make sure that I was okay. So yes, when I say I go hard for her, I go hard for her. Like this is a bond that can never be broken because she like, Mama, I have to go to school. Like knock on the door, Mama, we have to go now. We have to go. And I would just go in my pajamas, get my pajamas on, and roll her to school, and then roll back, pick her back up, and she was like, "Okay, it's time for me to take care of my mama." Like it was like that.
Wow. Listen, do you know how many children have to go through the very same thing, and to
More
hear
than we can.
the strength of this baby removing her wants and putting in front of that your needs, it is so profound because it's so many people with the same story and they don't talk about it. So I am glad, Alaysha, that you went there because, like I tell everybody, I don't do masks on here. I don't do, I do real raw and relatable, as they say, because there are a lot of people that are going through and suffering in silence, as they say. And if we can provide a way to share our testimonies that can let somebody know, sis, bro, if we did this, you can do whatever you set your mind to, and just and that's why I said in the beginning, just to hear you speak, Alaysha, the maturity that you have inside of your belly, it is more powerful than a whole bunch of people that's my age. Let me tell you that.
Yes.
You.
Okay. I know a whole bunch of 30, 40, and 50-year-old people that can't hold a conversation like that. You hear me? And
No.
it's
Thank you so
because,
much.
not because they're not mature, but they're not mature enough to let their stories be told. They're not mature enough to live in their truth. They're not mature enough to look at their situation and say, I have to do what's best for the outcome that I want to see, even if that takes me sacrificing what I want at the moment. If I know I can get my mama to stay here with me, Mom, come on, let's go cook. I don't even want them, but I just give me two. I just want to cook 2 eggs. But Mom, come cook these eggs for me. Mom, how you crack these eggs? Just the simple thing, the simplest stuff. And I loved hearing your story. Like, just, girl, you had me over here. I was about to flip out this chair. You had me in tears. Okay, listen. Okay.
It's real tears, honey. I'll probably break them down after I leave again because the way that I started helping her, that I started getting up to help her cook, was one day she was hungry. She wanted something to eat. So she always was an oatmeal cereal person. Like she loved oatmeal. But we had cleaned and the bowls was all in the cabinets. So she had to climb up on the thing because I'm sleep. Like when you're in a depression,
All you want to do is sleep.
All you want to do is sleep. And you can sleep
all
literally
day.
24 hours and not wake up to pee.
Move.
Like,
yes, ma'am.
like you don't move.
Been there. And it is the darkest thing ever.
The darkest. But she went to go get a bowl and the whole cabinet fell on her. Like the cabinet, she was holding, probably pulling her weight and pulling the cabinet.
Wow.
So the cabinet fell on my baby. So she is laying here and all I hear is a big crash.
Mm-hmm.
So that wakes me up. I come running.
Right.
And she's just like bawling. And nobody but God didn't have a scratch on her. Nobody but God. She didn't have a bruise on her. She was crying from scared. She was just shocked and scared. But did not have a scratch. Did not have a bruise.
Know what? That was your wake-up call.
That was my wake-up call. So when that happened, I was like, girl, okay, what you doing? Because the next one is going to be a fire. And she going to catch this whole house on fire. So that was my wake up. And I remember I went to bed and I was like, God, please, Lord, help me. Just help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. And he said, you don't love you. If you loved you, you would not be going through this. You would not think that I have forgotten about you. You wouldn't think that I have wrote you off. If you loved yourself, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
When I say I love her, baby, I love her. It's real. God started taking me by the hand, literally, and taught me to love everything about me. And then he just constantly, step by step. And that's how I came out of depression. She fell, the cabinets fell on top of her. She didn't have a bruise. So God showed me miracles do happen. The impossible happens. All that. He showed me all that fast.
Just
because
that quick.
Then I was thinking, if the Department of Children's Services come in here, and she tells them what I do every day is lay in this bed and cry. Let me tell you what the Department of Children's Services is getting ready to do.
Come on. Get your favorite little teddy bear and come on. You call us when you're ready to take this baby back, cause right now you ain't ready.
So I didn't have a job. Didn't have health insurance. So people like go to therapy. How am I going to the doctor? How am I going to therapy? Where is coming from?
Right. Who gonna pay for it?
Who gonna pay for it? Because the 401k that I just traded in, it pays the mortgage, baby. Like, so that can't be touched because that's mortgage. So what do you want me to do? She has insurance because they're gonna pray about it. Yeah, and people tell people gonna be like, "Girl, just pray about it. Just pray about it. Just pray about it." That is people first, and that's why I didn't talk to people because I don't want to hear this. Just pray about it. God is good. God is gonna make it happen, girl.
Like, okay, I know that. However, do you have a natural solution to my problem?
To my
Like, you got an application, some Medicaid or something, because we struggling. Okay.
we now we still look
Something.
good because what I mean, I still made sure my baby was clean and we didn't smell, but don't go to the bank account. Don't go to the but so that going through there, and I'm telling you, once God started teaching me how to love myself, and then we started being, let's do it together. And we started doing our little dances and claps and high fives, and it was on from there. On from there, I started taking her to school. Then I started doing my walk, my therapy with God. I'm telling you, God will be your therapy if you let him. If you let him in, he will do it, because he's had me walking all over the world, looking at every tree, every bird, every ant. And I promise you, money just started coming in. Like, once I started building my faith and belief, like, stuff just started happening. Like, it just, because God was like, you finally gave it to me. So since you gave it to me, I got you. Right. And that was the same with us. We started living life together.
And with getting out of that, getting through that whole journey into where you are now with Alaysha going through school, obviously graduating high school, going to college, whose idea was it to do the Sweet and Spicy podcast?
Oh, I think it was more yours.
I can say I feel like the feeling was kind of mutual, though. I would say mutual overall. I'm trying to think who brought the idea.
Well, the idea, but remember, we had talked about after you graduated from college, we was gonna start doing. No, you remember we went to Mr. Dale's conference?
Oh yeah.
And when we went to the conference, we just started sharing our story, but they just saw us together at a conference, and like, this girl been conferencing for she been going to conferences since she was like 5. Like, she's been at every conference, and I think they prophesied that we needed to show other people how to live,
how to show our story, our life story. Yeah. So that's really where it started off. And then I feel like we found the resources thanks to Angela. And that's when, it really came about being a topic. And at first I was like, I don't know, because do I want to get on a podcast with my mama? Like, but at the same time, it was like, you know what? Like you had said, Miss Jasmine, like, I feel like a lot of other people my age need to know, like, it's okay to embrace your relationship with your mom or with your father or with your grandmother, whoever. Like, I want to show the world that it's really okay to be best friends with your parent and still look at them as a mother and father.
Wow.
That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Close your mouth.
Listen, I'm talking about Joe Drop Lip over here. Cause do you know how many young adults or teenagers, we ain't talking 12, 13, but 16, 17, 18, that look at their parents. My son always call me, he be like, Mama, you so, like today, for instance, look, I don't mind telling my story because I don't care. I embarrass my kids. I don't care. If I want to hug you, I'm going to hug you, okay? Because you can walk out this door today and I get a phone call that you ain't never coming home. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care where we at, who we around. If I want to hug your neck, Joker, I'm going to hug you and you going to like it. So we had open house today. And my son was like, Mom, please don't go in here and embarrass me. Don't be hugging, like trying to hold my arm and all this other kind of crap. I'm like, I don't care who is in. Like, he walking fast. My son is 6'2", and he's a senior this year. So he walking fast. I'm like, first of all, I'm 5'4". I'm short.
I need you to slow
Can
down.
you slow down? He's like, Mom, I'm walking regular. No, you're not. You trying to leave me because you don't want nobody to know I'm your mama. No, more, come here. You know, I will embarrass you in front of these people. You know, but now what I'm starting to pay attention to is that he knows that he's getting ready to venture out into the world. He's getting ready to go to college, you know, in the next year. So he's going from that mama stay away from me to he's checking on me like every hour on the hour. Mom, you good? What did you eat? You know, he's working now. Mom, let's go out to dinner. And I'm like, who is
Okay.
this little boy? You know,
That's the best feeling ever.
when I could go to a restaurant and I could buy what I want to eat and I ain't got
Because damn.
it is the most beautiful thing ever. But it just and that also, you know, just listening to the dynamics of your relationship, it lets me know that a lot of parents yearn for that. They yearn. You know, you don't have to be my best friend, but let me know that you know that I'm here. Let me know that you care about me. Let me know that okay, I've raised you, but you didn't just go out and spread your wings and you ain't never coming home. Call me, check on me, have a conversation with me. Come to me when you need advice. Parents love this type of stuff when they get to your age. Like, oh, you want to talk? You know, my daughter calls me all the time. Mom, you got to
Come on.
yeah, and she be like, she said, Mom, I need a minute where you ain't gonna judge me, where you're not gonna say nothing, just listen and let me talk. And I'm like, okay. Then I have to pray, God, just let me be quiet
Let
because
me
I
just
can
let
go there, you know. So as a parent, you know, we look for that. We want our child to be in a, you know, go. We want to know that we did our job as a parent, raising a wonderful adult. And for you, Sparkle, with seeing how Alaysha is now, graduating, you know, high school, graduating college, and everything else that she has her hand on that we may not even know about. How do you view your child now as a young woman? What is that? What how do you view her now?
I have the best, amazing, intelligent, everything her hands touch will prosper. Is nothing that she can't have. It's nothing that she won't have. Like she is going to rock this world. Her name is going to be known all over the world. Like God has already showed me she is the best. Like she
Right.
is his chosen one. She is
Mm-hmm.
the vessel. Like
Right.
like the thing, like her overcome spirit is amazing. She's a strong person and she
Mm-hmm.
deals with things in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna cry about it. She's gonna be irritated and frustrated and ready to knock somebody's head off. And you better get out of her way. Like that's but it's to say like I know that she's going to be successful, not just
Mm-hmm.
successful as far as a career, successful as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, as a co-worker, as a church member. Like everywhere her hands touch, everywhere her feet go, she's
Mm-hmm.
going to be prosperous and do all things because I'm telling you, I used to like we would play the games before I am wonderful affirmations. That was on our way to work. Like we would
Mm-hmm.
speak affirmations before she go to school. I'm going to graduate from high school. I'm gonna get a full scholarship and I'm gonna be debt free, full scholarship, debt free. So when I say words and she will not get pregnant before while she's in college or while she in high school. Now I know she might, might have done it to make it possible. But what's not gonna happen is that manifestation is coming through. I have already spoke those words over her. I have spoke
And
greatness
did.
over her. Yes. So I know that Alaysha Russell, oh, you better remember her name. You better know her name because this girl is amazing. And even any joker that don't want her, you gonna wish you would have. You gonna wish you would have, like, I should have dated her. I think I should have got with her. Yeah, you should have, but you didn't. So keep on walking. Keep on going. So, I mean, I just know that the power of God is all over her. And I show my anointing and she doesn't show her anointing. But anointing, girl, you need somebody to pray for you. She ain't gonna do it. She don't want to do it all out in public and stuff.
Right.
But no,
I
I
don't
can't say
in
that.
public
I
now.
can't say that because at toast to her, my baby showed out and did prayer over the food. I was like,
who child is this?
who child is this? Like, she letting people. So I see her coming out of her shell. I see her blossoming. I see her just peeling back the onions. She's pulling it back. Now it's slowly, but what I try to not do is I try not to rush it. I try to let her do her thing in her timing and her speed and her, just let it be about her, because if I start trying to rush it, it's gonna distract her. Yep. So I try to just back up. I have learned the backup spirit. Back up and let her do. Like, even when she used to steal my car, I knew she was stealing it, but she was putting gas back in it. She was parking it back where it was supposed to be. Like, if I was on a look, girl, she was filling the gas tank back up. When she stole it, she was making sure it came back the way it left. She found it. She was bringing it back the exact same way. I don't know if she was putting some little markers in the garage so that the wheel.
Alaysha.
You really went there.
See, I'm talking about put all your business in the street, girl.
All my business.
But I didn't even fuss with her about that. I didn't, she didn't know that I knew until like after she graduated from high school. Because I think as parents, we fuss about so much, and some things are not necessary. Some things, let it unfold the way it needs to unfold. It'll unfold. You just pray and you really give it to God and let God really take care of them. If you believe in what you praying, God gonna take care of them. So her stealing the car was not something she was bringing back. It wasn't wrecked. It's not damaged. It still has gas in it. Why do I need to bring this to her attention? At least she ain't sneaking out the window.
I ain't getting no call from the police, different things like that. Yeah, I understand you did this, but if something was meant to happen to you in that time, it would have.
It's gonna happen regardless. If I say something, it's gonna happen regardless. So as a parent, we gotta learn some things. We just gotta let it fold. We gotta let it fold the way it folds.
That's true. That is
true. We can't correct everything.
That's how they gain that wisdom, and that's how they get that maturity, because in those moments, and that brings me to my next question. And I'll start with you, Alaysha. What have you learned from your failures, your mistakes, and your mishaps in your life? What have you learned from that as of today?
That I can say, as far as me, I always want to live back then I wanted to live life as being perfect. I wanted to do everything the right way, because I can say ever since I was a little girl, everybody would look at me as perfect. Like I touched on earlier, I would make the good grades. I was great in sports. I didn't really get in trouble for real. I mean, of course, I did stuff as normal teenagers, but nothing too outrageous. Like, I feel like everything was on a great path. Like, I know Alaysha's going to do it. I know Alaysha's going to do great things. I know she's going to come out great. That just because, okay, I made a mistake, that doesn't make me as a failure. I feel like you have to learn and yearn from your mistakes. That I can say, looking back, that I'm grateful for everything when I didn't show up 100%. When, my heart aches, or not getting accepted to where I wanted to get accepted. I can say that at this point I am grateful, because it's always a lesson to everything, and I feel like God always wants you to come out right. He wants you to come out great in everything. God wants nothing but greatness over your life. So if something doesn't go right for you, that's nobody but God. He wants better for you. He just wants you to learn from that situation, to take a certain lesson from it, to be able to get something much greater.
Yeah, I agree. And for you,
I told
Sparkle,
you that
same question.
I told you that anointing. Told you that anointing is bad. What have I learned from my failures? Now, I don't call them failures. They're not a failure. They are a stepping stone to make me build, and I have to build on a solid foundation. So it was back to what it was meant to happen. Some things are meant to happen,
Right.
and it don't always feel good when it happens, but it was meant to happen. Because if it didn't happen, then that crown that you want to wear on top of your head, it won't fit. That crown won't fit unless you go through the proper procedures to get where you're going. And it's all a process. And as long as I get up again tomorrow, God wake me up, that failure, what happened yesterday was yesterday. Because today, I'm here to make yesterday wish today was here. I'm here to make you jealous that it didn't show up and show out the way I'm showing up and show out today. So it's not a failure, because I woke up again. I got up again. And since I got up again, that's another chance. That's another chance.
Yeah. Listen. This has been the quickest 57 minutes ever. Okay. But I have thoroughly and truly enjoyed listening to your story, and just seeing for myself personally the fruits of your labor. And you're not walking around, you lay down your heavy burden. You look, God, handle that, because I got something else to do. I got to do everything else that you told me to do. I have to continue to live out what you have inside of me, because I don't want to come back to you full of what you gave me. I want to come back to you empty. And just seeing that you're both on the journey to passing out the gifts that he put inside of y'all, when I tell you, it is such a beautiful sight to see. I love everything that you all are doing. My hats off, my scarf off, my everything off to Sweet and Spicy Podcast. Let everybody know when they can catch it. If you're looking at the scroller below, you see it's on We Empower Network. But let us know, when does the Sweet and Spicy Podcast air?
It's every second Thursday. Every second Thursday. As you see, my daughter likes to get in and get out. So she's gonna give you 30 minutes and then she's gonna be out. Because this whole hour, girl, Jasmine, you're doing good to get her out here for to get her on for an hour. But 30 minutes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we give you a little piece of us, but Sparkle for You, we do it together. I love her, we do it together. So it's not just sweet and spicy. We do everything together. Every business that we have is a togetherness. So when you see us out here doing slanging sparkles, she's somewhere right behind me, just crawled up.
Throwing jokes. Listen.
Yes, But she ain't gonna give you all that extra. Either you want to buy it or you don't want to buy it.
Oh, you don't.
It's her. It's
She
her.
be on her. She like, she said, "These your earrings," and she going on about her business. All right, here go your necklace. All right.
She
Look,
do
cause I ain't got
checkout.
all night. Okay.
Yeah. When you
I
want
got
to
stuff to do.
y'all know
Okay.
who to go to. You go to Miss Park or Dr. Park.
She is your checkout. But we do events. We just did an event. I love her. And that's her and I strategizing it together, working it together. When I say it's a true blessing to do what we do and do it together.
I love it. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And just congratulations on everything that you all do, everything that you all are creating, every platform that you are giving women and just people in general the opportunity to just be vulnerable and be truthful and love on themselves and grow in areas that people thought they could not grow in, because that in today's time right now, that's what's needed. It's enough hatred out here, it's enough killing out here, it's enough negativity out here for you all to be bringing the sparkles, the love, the mirror talks that's going to be coming back, next week. So I'm excited about those, and just everything that you all have together. It's amazing. So my last question for you all, and this can be a collective, if whoever wants to answer, or if you both have different answers, that's fine. But what would be a piece of advice you will give to someone that is on the fence about taking the next step to do better in their life?
I can say, me personally, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to not know, because I know me, I'm personally a planner mindset, and I know there's probably other people that like to know exactly how things are going to work out A through Z before they really take that leap of faith. And I can say that it's okay to really just know this A, B, and C, and then the rest you just gonna trust in God. Because when you just take that chance, all he wants you to do is just take that leap. When you just show that you have a little bit of faith, it's okay. That's all he wants to know, is that you just have a little bit of faith in him. And if you just take those few steps, and then the rest, he'll show you exactly how to go about the rest.
That's good. I'm not gonna touch that one. I'm gonna touch that one. I ain't touching that one. That's good, because it's true. Like, we are so nosy. We so busy wanting to know how, what. I mean, the world has told us we have to have these perfect business plans. In order to do it, you have to have a full business plan. You have to have it all written out, and you have to have it all closed and perfect. Baby, if you waiting for you to write that out right, you're gonna be waiting forever. Cause you're gonna write, then you're gonna scratch it out, you're gonna erase it, you're gonna write it, you're gonna write it. So when he said write the vision and make it plain, I believe he was saying write it to me, write it in your heart. I believe he was talking about a heart write. Write the vision to him and let him come and make it plain, and be willing to continue to keep it in your heart and not let your heart move from what happens. Write it in the heart. So once you have it in the heart, the mind, the tongue, and the actions will line up.
Well, I ain't gonna come behind now one of y'all except to say, thank everybody that tuned in.
Thank
for
you for
watching.
tuning in. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
all so
for
much.
having us.
Oh, you were so welcome. It was my honor. Listen, I told y'all I have been wanting a mother-daughter duo for about a year, and when I saw y'all, I was like, come on, come in. Come in, let me talk to you.
Anytime you need us, just let us know, and we are here, because this is what it's all about. is helping give somebody that little dose of hope. It might, some people need a little, some people need a lot, but what matters is that you're willing to take whichever one you need, whether it's a teaspoon, a tablespoon, or a cup. You just got to be willing to take it.
Exactly. And again, thank you both so much for giving us your time. Alaysha, thank you for giving me an additional 35 minutes above your 30 that you normally give. I greatly appreciate you. But no, just seriously, thank you both so much.
Cause she an old woman. Old woman. She gotta be in bed by this is her bed. This is her bed time. She's like, what time? Oh, so now I gotta stay up. Like she in the bed at 9 o'clock. Like,
oh, she said, mind your business.
It's really an honor. It really has.
You are so welcome. And to everyone else that has tuned in with us, thank you all for watching from all sides of the world. We thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I am your host, yours truly, Jasmine D. Milhouse, and you have been tuned in to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And you know how I like to end it every week. Remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. You all enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you next week. Good night.
I'll be your temple. I'll be your sanctuary. I'll be your temple. I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way. Jesus, have your way. I got it made. You never delay. You came and you paid, so